So let's talk about GameStop. Now I know there's tons of other videos out there where people have aired their grievances or given their commentary about GameStop, and my video is going to be no different, but I still thought it worth sharing my personal experiences with GameStop just because there's been a few little unique elements here and there, and also to kind of contrast how GameStop has changed recently, because I don't know how it is in your areas, but my GameStops, the three in my area, have actually gotten a lot better. Way better than they used to be. But that's jumping ahead of myself. Let me tell you all the story. So as those of you who follow me may know, I live in Memphis. And more specifically, I live in the Wolf Chase region, where there's a major shopping mall, large shopping center surrounding it, and it's pretty much the center of Shelby County. It's a major commercial area. It's sort of the heart and core of the county, which is pretty cool. Now, when this whole area was started in the mid-90s, we're talking 96, 97, 98 range, inside of Wolf Chase Mall proper, there was an EB Games. And outside of the mall, across the street in the same shopping center as a Target and Best Buy, there was a Funcoland store. Now, for those of you who don't know, Funcoland specialized in, your classic used cartridges, your older game systems. Pretty much everything they had was used. They were a buy-sell trade kind of place. And EB Games, while they took in trade, they focused more on the new stuff, but they would still take in, trade-ins of whatever was at least mostly current. So, everything was cool, right? That was until GameStop decided to show up, and I can't remember the exact order or how long a period it was. It was around 2001 maybe that they basically bought out Funcoland, converted it into a proper GameStop, and EB Games slowly transitioned into a GameStop maybe by 2004. Now that was still alright. The store still kind of had the culture that they did beforehand. But after a couple of years, we noticed that, the former Funcoland location is getting rid of all the classic stuff they had. The EB Games store is doing the same, although they had very little in the way of old cartridges, if anything. I can't recall too well. Whatever case, the stores were getting rid of all this stuff and switching mostly to just buy, sell, and trade of current systems. Which kind of sucked, but still, there were other places to get our stuff, replays, and maybe another store here or there. It was all good. At least, we thought it was all good. This is the point where what we think of as the traditional GameStop culture took over, where you had people being hired who didn't really know anything about games, the typical, air quotes, gamer girls who just look pretty but really don't know Grand Theft Auto from Ratchet and Clank, or just, you all know the horror stories. We all know what GameStop is like, at least was for the past decade. And this is where things get kind of funny with a couple of stories I've got. Now, the former Funcoland location, I haven't really had any major issues with. That was fine. That place was good, although I rarely went there. Most of the time, I was in the one in the mall. Since the arcade was there, I'd go there and play DDR a lot. It made sense that I'd end up browsing through the mall location regularly. So let's jump to about 2007 range. Now, I lived just down the street from the mall, so at that time, I was going down there all the time. Take like a 10-15 minute walk, boom, you're at Wolf Chase, hang out, go talk to some friends, do whatever, spend some time at the arcade. It was a fun time, right? Well, this is when the Wii was new, and no one could get a hold of one. GameStop did have one of those little demo kiosks, though. But the Wiimote and Nunchuck at the time weren't strapped down. They just didn't have them secured at all. You could just walk out the store with them, which apparently happened regularly enough, to the point where GameStop was wanting to hold on to people's IDs or whatever. Kids wanted to play, the parents would toss their ID or what have you. It makes sense. But for whatever reason, I didn't have mine. I don't know if it had gotten lost, which happened a lot more than it should have, or what was going on, but I didn't have mine on me at the time. My buddy was playing. I wanted to go on and play. They wanted my ID once I had the Wiimote and Nunchuck, even though my best friend was up there with his, so why that couldn't have sufficed was beyond me. But when I look and realize, oh hey, I don't have mine, it isn't just oh sorry, we have to have it, it's policy for this. It wasn't just oh well, your friend will be good, or okay, you got anything else that we can hold on to? Because ironically, I took my camera with me everywhere I went. I had that on me, which cost more than a Wiimote and Nunchuck together would have cost. No. Instead, the dude wants to start laughing in ridicule about it. What do you mean you don't have it on you? Don't you have one? And he just wanted to be a general dick about it. And I'm thinking, what the fuck? Are they really hiring this kind of asshole? I don't care what he does or doesn't know about a game. This is shit. This makes me not want to come in here. And I don't think I did for months until I found out that the dude had been fired and that the store had been restaffed, which happened about every 6 months anyway. They completely restaffed that store. So I'm just thinking to myself, what the fuck, right? But whatever. Once I found out he was gone, I was going back in there. And by this time, I was picking up the occasional PC game here or there, because at that time I'd become a PC gamer. I hadn't bothered with consoles. So everything was alright. This is where we move on to the release of Guild Wars 2, circa 2012. So I go up there, and I'm wanting to get my copy, tell the guy I have a pre-order. He doesn't ask for my info. And I thought that was odd. I'm like, you gonna pull it from the pre-order so my $5 gets credited? Yeah, sure. I have to constantly push and push until he finally goes through and finds it or gets it and actually, makes it go through my pre-order. Which is not like there was any kind of bonus with it. I don't know why I bothered. I guess it was just the idea of securing the game, making sure they at least got a copy of it in. Because when I had pre-ordered the first Sakura Wars release in the US, they only got in 3 copies, and one of them was mine. They didn't even know that one was supposed to be a pre-order, so they had to go in the back and open up a case after hunting for it for 10 minutes just to get me my copy. Guild Wars 2, it didn't go that bad, but it's like the guy wanted to make it where I didn't notice that it wasn't pushed through the pre-order, so I'd pay the $5 I'd already put down, and they'd just keep that $5. I don't know what the hell was up with that, but I didn't quite like it. Now, just like the previous guy, I'd find out later that that guy also either quit or got fired very shortly after that, and it had no relation to that. I didn't, write an email or anything like I did on the last guy, but it seems like GameStop has this trend of hiring people who don't have a fucking clue and then getting rid of them just as quickly. Which I guess is alright, at least they aren't keeping the idiots around, but why fire an idiot or a jerk and replace them with another idiot or a jerk? Is there screening control for employees that bad around here? At least that's what I was thinking at the time. Now let's move on to today, or more correctly, the past couple of months to nearly a year. Ever since I bought my 360 and my Xbox One, I've been going to GameStop more regularly. There's now a third one located in the middle of Bartlett that I'll frequent sometimes. It's just a little ways down from Disconnection. There's also a new store in between the Wolf Chase area and that GameStop called Game Exchange that's a similar type of store, but they carry, older NES, Super Nintendo, even Atari stuff. It's another nice little place to visit, but that's a side note. Point is, I've been going to GameStop more and more recently. And there was even a period, like for about a month or two, after work every Sunday, I would head over to the mall and go and check out what the mall GameStop had in the way of super cheap 360 games just to pad out my collection. Look at a game, look at reviews. If it scored even halfway decent, I'd pick it up just to say, hey, I've got this, because $4, it doesn't matter. Go it off, pick up a new game, go home, play it. Everything's cool, right? Well, what I noticed happening is the staff starts to remain more steady. For the past year, it's pretty much been the same people at the 3 GameStops. They've occasionally had a person leave or come back, but I haven't had any issues with anybody. Everyone's actually been talkative. They've been really nice. Heck, if they're not super busy, they'll sit there and they'll just plain talk with you while you're shopping around. Discuss games, discuss stuff they've done, actually carry on friendly conversations. And I know that's one of the things you're supposed to do in retail. I mean, I work retail, I know how this goes. But they were legitimately just discussing games, asking had you played this game from 15 years ago, not like a game they carry. And it was genuine conversation. And that's really cool, I like that. Heck, with the GameStop in the mall, they know me by name, so that's pretty cool. But the point I'm getting at is, it's not just the niceness of the people, it's the little things. GameStop, they seem to have Like if you buy a game used, they'll pull out a case from another shelf they've got of cases that doesn't have any stickers on it except for an easy to peel off little GameStop sticker that has a barcode on it. It'll be a nice, as good as it can be case. Nothing stuck to it. It looks fresh. Aside from one game that was kind of scratched up that they realized at the other store, oh, a new guy had picked this up, we're sorry, here, we'll trade it out for this one. Every game I've picked up has been in pristine condition, freshly buffed it looks like, everything's been good. I haven't had any issues with anyone being a jerk. As I said earlier, everyone's been cool. Even to the point of the other day, not only did this one girl up there carry on about 10 minutes of conversation with me while she and her partner were working on stuff. I was shopping around. But the dude, he pulls out, I'm picking up Borderlands 2 for my 360, right? He sees me interested in Borderlands. He's like, dude, wish you had a PS4, because he knew I had an Xbox One. We were talking about it earlier. So like, if you had a PS4, you could pick up this. He goes to the back, pulls out this copy of Borderlands Handsome Collection that apparently comes with a robotic claptrap. It's $200. No way either one of us could afford it, but we were just sitting there like, whoa, that is awesome. And it's little things like that. Now, the store wasn't busy, so they could focus and do stuff like that. I was the only person in there. But it's just, that kind of stuff is just cool. And way better than getting treated like crap because you don't have an ID on you at the time to play demonstrations of a Nintendo Wii, or trying to get scammed out of $5 when you pre-order a game. Now, yes, GameStop's still kind of pushy on those add-on sales of, oh, do you want the power-up rewards? Do you want the credit card? Do you want this? Do you want that? And again, I actually do understand that. I'm very polite on declining. They usually get it. A lot of them know me, know where I work, and they know that I have to deal with similar. So, it's cool. Everyone's friendly to me. They don't try to push games on me. If I don't find anything, they're like, oh, hey, better luck next time, buddy. And, even if they're not being, completely honest, I don't care. It's at least nice and friendly. They're actually, pleasant to be around, and it makes me want to be in the store. But when you hear all these horror stories that everyone has about GameStop, I'm wondering, for the rest of the people out there, are they still having these terrible experiences? Is it still bad at your GameStop? Because all three of the ones near me, they're all great. The one that was the Funko Land is still probably the worst of the three. I don't much care for the manager there. It's kind of a jerk. But the associates are alright. They're the ones who had the bad copy of a gun that I mentioned a second ago. It was scratched up and I had to get that replaced. It was no big. The guys were cool about it. They laughed. Because I was like, hey, I ain't mad. I went home, I honestly tried it, and yeah, it's gone. But it's just, really the focus on retail is customer service. And it's one thing if the customer's being a dick, to be a dick back. I can understand that. But when it's someone who means no harm, and they're trying to, just make things as easy as possible for you, they're making it easy for you to help them, treat them fairly. And GameStop has a bad record of treating its own good-paying customers like criminals. I'm glad that at least the stores near me are actually pretty decent and nice about this stuff. They're honest and fair. That's all I've got to say though. Thanks for listening. Leave your GameStop stories in the comments below. Again, thanks for watching. Catch everyone next time.